Is it happening? Am I live? Fingers crossed. I hope this is it. I hope I'm here. I should be. Everything's saying I am. Oh, am I live? I can't see anybody. Oh, I can see one person. There's one person. Am I live? Hi, Rebecca. Oh, hi, Alice. Hi, Jodie. Hi, Belinda, Gemma, Sandra. I'm so sorry. I've been so excited about tonight, and then I had a bit of a problem sorting my computer out, but I'm here. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Robin. Hi, Devid. Hi, Belinda, Caroline. Oh, my goodness. Petri. Oh, it's so nice to see everyone. It's so nice. I'm sorry I was a minute or two late there, but I'm here now. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Saskia. Hi. Oh, it's good to see everyone. Hi, Yankee. Hi, Joe. Hi, Claire. Hi, Petra. Oh, it's really nice to see everyone. I am going to crack on, and I'm going to switch my camera down, and we can get on with the project. So bear with me. I just need to change my settings. There we go. And take you to look down. There we are. Hello. So this is the page that you've probably seen. I'm going to just bring you in a little bit to this so that you can hopefully see. Whoops, not too much. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? You can see a little bit more there. So this is the page that I'm going to show you how I made. What I really like. Hi, Diana. Hi, Anya. Hi, Sue. What I really like about this is that there are lots of different little elements that you can batch make ahead of time, and then you'll have them for other projects. Now it's the new Mr. and Mrs. collection, which is, I don't know, it's a favourite, isn't it? Every collection that comes out, I think, oh, that's my favourite. And they just get better and better, really. So what I'm going to use tonight is I've cut some bits out already. I've done a base page, and I'm going to show you everything I've used, actually, because that makes it a little bit easier for you to find it if you want to. So I've used the base page from the Playful Grunge collection, and I've also used from this collection these fabulous paper clips. Not paper clips, are they? They're safety pins, and they're rather brilliant. And then I've also used this tag die from the Doily Galore. So sorry, the Playful Grunge is 2241 and Doily Galore is 2242. And I've used the tag die, and I've also used this belly band die, and I've also used this. This is actually to add a little bit of strength to the middle of the belly band, but you can also use it for all kinds of things. It's a lovely motif. So I've used those from the Doily Galore. And then I've also used the, I was wondering where it is, and I've got it ready on my block. The laced stamp collection. Don't look at my messy stamps, I need to clean them, which is CS401, and I've used all three of these stamps. So, and I think that is everything I've used. So I've made myself my base page, and what I found is I can use one piece of these fabulous 12 by 12s will allow me to make the elements on this page. It'll allow me to make my base page and also the other envelopes. So let's start by getting a few of these elements together. So I've cut the base page, and I've also cut 2 of these tags. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little scoreboard, and I'm going to score the tag so that I can make a little envelope out of it. So I'll tell you the measurements I used. I've scored the tag at, let me get my little score tool, at 2 inches from the top, 2 inches, which is 5 centimeters. Then at 2 1/4 inches, which is about 5 1/4 centimeters ish. And then I've scored it again then at 4 1/2 inches, which is about 11 1/2 centimeters, and 4 3/4 inches. So I've given myself 2 little gussets of 1/4 inch. So if you're doing centimeters, you'd be doing score at 5 centimeters, 5 1/4 centimeters, 11 1/2 centimeters, and 12 centimeters. And inches, it's 2 inches, 2 1/4 inches, 4 1/2 inches, and 4 3/4 inches. And then that will give you your little envelope. So we've got 2 of those now. Now, I don't know if I can show you, hopefully I can. On here you can see what I've done is I've given myself a front to the envelopes, and I've also done a little concertina on the sides so that I can put things in there. So I'm going to make my concertina pieces and my front pieces. And the concertina sides, you want to cut to, let me get the right ones. We need to cut those side panels to 2 inches or 5 centimeters by 3 inches or 7 1/2 centimeters. And I'm just trying to make sure I've got the right, yeah, that's the right one. Yeah. So these are the side panels, and I'm scoring these every 1/2 inch, or if you're doing centimeters, you want to score at around every 1 1/4 centimeters, and you'd want it to be 5 centimeters by 7 1/2 centimeters in size. So there we go. And then just concertina that up. So we have our sides. So we're getting ready to put these envelopes together. Oh, a cold and wet Liverpool. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's pretty rainy here in South Wales as well. But I think hopefully we'll get some improvements. So then I've got front panels, which are 2 inches by 3 5/8 of an inch, or 5 centimetres by 8.5 centimetres. And just to add a little bit of interest to these, I've taken a circle punch, and in the middle just cut out that little thumb dewberry, what's it, if that makes sense. Excuse me. So that's all the elements that we need for our envelopes and our base page. I'm just going to move this piece of paper out of the way, because now I want to add some stamping and some colour. Oh, excuse me, I need a little drink. I want to add some colour and some stamping. I'm going to stamp with a Versamark pad and do some white embossing, and then we'll add the colour, and that will then really pop. Excuse me, reaching across. That will really pop the colour. So using a Versamark on the lovely lace stencil, and we don't have to ink up the whole stamp really, because we're only using sections. Right, we'll see what we get here now. So I've done some on the page that isn't going to have the envelopes on. Just a little Versamark, and then I'm going to do some on the envelope flaps as well. And again, because I want a sort of grungy vintage look, I'm not really too worried about having gaps or missing bits. So I'm not being too precious about how I stamp it. There we go. So that bit is done, and I want my embossing powder. I want a nice white embossing powder. Here we go. And I'll just get a piece of paper to do that on. Ooh. There we go. This lace stamp is so pretty. I've got almost a full panel, and I wasn't being careful about how I applied that ink at all. So I'm quite surprised at how well I've caught that. And let's just do these envelopes. And again, oh, Caroline, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful, and I can think of about a million things that I want to use it for. It's there we go. So I missed a little bit on there. That's user error, but like I said, I wasn't being terribly fussy about it, because I like a grungy look, and we're going to put lots of layers on there, so I wasn't really too fussy. Right, I'm going to just get the heat gun on here. There we go. Let's have a look at some. Oh, thank you, David. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Anki. Thank you, Belinda. I've been so excited to come and share with you all because I love sharing. There we go. This is melting nicely now. Yeah. And these envelopes. Such an amazing die. Not die, goodness me. Such an amazing stamp. So pretty. There we are, nearly done. Oh, there's a little bit of thread there. There. So I've got my resist now because my resist will be this white embossed area, and I'm going to add some colour to this now. Not that it needs it because this pad is wonderfully colourful. I'm just folding that page in half now so that I know roughly where I'm putting things. But I like to add a little bit, and that's the nice thing, is that you can add as little or as much as you like with David's designs. He's done it so that, you know, anybody can make as much or as little of it as they want, and it's just so clever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding some distress. I've got this is frayed burlap, and these are sprays, and I'm actually going to make sure that my fronts get a little bit of the action as well. And I'm not being particularly precious about it. I am just adding some colour there. And I'm also going to add some, now this one's an oxide. Oh, Sue, it would be, it will go. Thank you, Anya. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I like finding alternative uses for things, as you will see in a moment. Now, we put a little bit on there. And I think I'm just going to add another oxide, actually. I'm going to add some salvaged patina. And you can see I'm pressing the top of this slowly because I don't want it to come out in a wide spray. I want to have sort of little bits of it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to give that another try. And I'll put this to one side. If I wasn't live, I'd just put this to one side to dry off, but I don't think we've got quite that long this evening. Ah, Caroline, yeah, sprays are great for layering. They really, and the different kinds work differently as well. So you can get some really interesting effects by layering different kinds of mediums. There we go, we're nearly done. Now, I don't want to waste this here, So what I'm going to do is I've got some bits of lace and gauze that I'm going to use on my page. So while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to just put them in here, maybe add a little bit of water. I'm afraid my hands are going to get absolutely filthy with this, but what can you do? So there we go. That's it's just some lace, some laces and some gauze, and we'll be using those shortly to finish the page off. I'm gonna add a little bit more to them because I can. And a bit more. Why not? Oh yes. Sorry, I've just got a little selection of sprays and I'm just adding them into the mix. And then that way my little fabric components will match in with everything else I'm doing. Plus I haven't wasted the absolutely, David, waste nothing. Yeah, so it just means that everything will match because I've used the same colours. So it won't match exactly, but there'll be similar hues. There'll be similarities, and that will then help join it all together as a whole. Right, I think those are about as good as they're going to get. I'm just going to get this last little bit, and if I was here on my own, I'd probably spray this with water and dip another piece of paper onto this mat to get that last little bit of colour. But you know, we've got to draw the line somewhere today. So again, just using my heat gun on those. And these are all things you can do in batches as well, colouring your lace and fabric and gauze and whatever. You can do it in batches when you're making these things. I'm not worried about it being bone dry, but I do want it to be touch dry, and I'm just going on these, just making sure that everything is touch dry, because that's all we need it to be. There we are. So I've got my little grungy bundle of lace and things that I'll be using later or shortly. Yeah, shortly. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Els. Right, so the next thing I need to do is I'm going to assemble these little envelopes, and then we're going to put all of that to one side, and we're going to look at the other elements that we can batch make. So there we go. I've got these were my tags that I've scored, and I can put a little post with the measurements. And I need some glue. Actually, I'll use this one for this. So I'm going to add I treated myself to one of these, and if you're wondering if they're worth it, the answer is yes. Yes, they are. They're awesome. So there we go. I'm sticking that little front that I cut on the front, just making sure it's lined up, and I'll do the same with this one as well. There we go. Hi Anne, hi Tracy, hi Vicky. So, oh my goodness, you see I wasn't paying attention there, so we just need to, I just managed to grab that in time. No, right, let's try again and pay attention to what I'm doing. It's so easy to be distracted, isn't it? There we go. So, there we go. I've got my two fronts on there now. So, we like that. Lovely. And then I'm going to add my little accordion doodads to the inside. So all I'm going to do is from the base, I'm going to do a little line. And I'm going on that line there. There we go. There. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. Just adding that there. And I'm going to do the same on this one, so I know that that one is dry when I go back to put the front on. There we go. One and two. Now, what I haven't done on here, which I would ordinarily do, and I'm just aware I haven't done it now, is I like to edge everything with a bit of I'm favouring scorched timber at the moment, but walnut ink, scorched timber, vintage photo, whatever floats your boat, I would edge everything with, but I'm not going to do it now because I want to show you other things. So there we go. I'm just holding that in place just for a moment. And there we go. We've got our little concertina envelopes. Right, and let's do this one, and then we'll pop these to one side and work on the other embellishments. Oh, Katie, you're going to have so much fun. It's such a beautiful collection. There we go. Just holding it down for a moment. Do you know, I'm looking at that page and it's almost a shame to cover it up. It is. It's so, look. Oh, gorgeous. But we are going to cover it up, and that's just how it is, I'm afraid. Right, so the next thing I want to show you is I'm going to show you some of the elements that I've used on here. So there's these little buttons and this little, I don't really know what it is, like a nice thing. That's what I will call it, a nice thing. Let me show you what I did. So all of these things are really great to batch make. So I'm going to show you these. This is the belly band. This is the belly band from the, oh, come on now, Rachel, from the Doily Galore, which is 2242. And this is the little belly band enforcer. And all I've done is I've die cut them out of shrink plastic. So now I will give you a tip. Depending on your shrink plastic, you may need to put a metal shim in, not because of the dyes, but because shrink plastic is obviously a plastic, and sometimes plastics will stretch when we try and cut them. So sometimes they need a metal shim. Sometimes they don't. Machines will vary. But when you're cutting plastics, sometimes you just need a little bit extra. If you're cutting cardboard or paper, they go through a dream. That's one of the things I really love about Elizabeth Craft dies is, you know, even the intricate ones always cut beautifully. But yeah, so again, this is something you can batch make. You can get yourself a whole little collection of these lovely little buttons, and I don't know. I mean, you could put a hair clip on that, couldn't you? That could be a beautiful hair clip. So anyway, I'm going to pick the ones I'm going to use. I'm going to go with this copper colour for my page, to put my page together, because I thought you don't really need to see me make shrink plastic. So there we go. Thank you. So that's a bit of fun. And I've also, with these, I've also used some ink and some wax. So we'll do that a minute. So I'm just going to get some scorched timber, and I'm going on the rough side of the plastic, because I'll be able to get some adhesion of the ink on the rough side. The smooth side, not so much. There we go. And on this one, turn that way. Just to add, and you could paint these with acrylic paints if you wanted to. You could use any colour shrink plastic that you have. Right, and I'm just going to add a little bit of wax on these as well, just because I can. There. And there. Oh, look at my dirty fingers. And there we go. Yeah, they cut things so beautifully. Oh, Claire, it's lovely to see you. It's lovely to see you. So those are those elements that I'm going to use. And with these little buttons, to lift them off the page a bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on buttons, which will just give them, it will just give them enough height off the page that I can then wrap the cord around them. So I'm going to stick those in place now, so that when we put the page together, everything is nice and ready. And I'm using, this time I'm using I'm not sure what smelly glue is what I'm using, because I'm sticking plastics. I'm using a smelly glue. I can't remember a solvent-based glue, isn't it? That's the one. Just gonna put a bit of glue on those, and they will come into play then when we pop the string on the envelopes. And because they've got that little extra height, it means that we can wrap the string around them. So the other thing that I like to do in batches from this collection are the safety pins. Oh my goodness, I love them so much. So we want some safety pins for this page, so I'm going to use those 3. Now the safety pins, you can just die cut them and then emboss them with some gold, silver, whatever you fancy, embossing powder, and then they look metallic. And the other thing, which is really handy to batch make, if you like your buttons to have thread in them, do some ahead of time, and then you can just pop them on projects when you're ready, rather than having to worry about doing it at the time. So we'll pop those there because I'll use some of those. And then we're on to the last bit of batch making now, I think. Yes, we are. So in the laced stamp set, which is CS401, there are these stamps along with the lovely lace stamp. There are these. So my recommendation would be stamp yourself a few and whip them off with a ruler or something. If you like the grungy look like me, if not, don't. But get yourself a few cut and ready because they're so handy for layering up on your projects. Right, I'm going to use that one and I'm going to use that one. So I want to grunge these up a bit and make them look a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to start by just whipping that edge a little bit more because it was a little bit too tidy for my liking. And I'm also going to be a bit frugal, and I'm going to tear this in half because I don't need to use the full piece, so I'll be able to use the other half on something else. And then I'm going to give this a little bit of a just messing around with the edges a bit, just scruffing it up. If you've got a distressing tool, that would be a good thing to use. So there we go. And now I'm going to add some colour and some stain. So with this one, I really like the blue that I had on this one, and I think it'll echo the blue that we've got in our let me move these around. I think adding blue will really echo the blue on the page. So I'm going to add some blue. I'm just using distress sprays again. Not going too mad with it, just one little and a bit of water just to help that travel on the page. That will be lovely. And do you know what? I'm going to use my gauze and lace just to tidy that up. So I haven't even got to worry about that. So I'm going to give that one a dry. And I'll also actually, before I dry it, I'm going to pop a little bit of frayed burlap on this one. And maybe a few spots on there as well. There we go, just a few spots. And get that little bundle of fabric again, just to clean up. And it's going to work really well when we put everything together because it's going to be all of a similar colour, just helping that colour bleed. And giving these a dry. And again, this is something that you could stamp, just sit for an evening and stamp a ton of these and colour them in different colours, and then you've got them ready to do the layering up and the fun stuff. Not that this isn't fun stuff for sure, but there we go, just drying these off. But yeah, if you batch make things like this, you can leave them all to dry, and then they're ready to use. So let's get that dry, just turning them over. They don't have to be bone dry, but touch dry would be good. There we go. So what I want to do with this is I want to distress it just a little bit more. So I'm going to take my, where is it? There it is. My scorched timber, and I'm just folding, just doing some random folds in the paper, and then putting my ink on those folds, and it adds another dimension. It just makes it look a little bit more grungy and old. And I shall probably do the same on this one as well. It is still a little bit damp, but I think we'll be okay. It just gives it a little bit more age and a little bit more interest. And I'm also going to come around. I have been resisting edging everything to save time, but this one does need just a little edging. There we go. Oh, do you know, it makes my little heart sing when I see all the grunginess. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm really glad you're enjoying it. Right, so I've got that done. I've got these pieces done, which I'm going to probably put like that. And I want a photo to put on there. I'm going to choose a photo. So this, I heard a really lovely expression for when we are trying different pieces on our projects, and it's called you're interviewing your pieces. And I thought that was really lovely, and I really like the idea of interviewing my pieces. So I'm going to go with this little chap. And again, I am inking the edges because the edges are very white, and it just it wouldn't blend into the page if I didn't do the edges. So he's going to go on there like that. And I think we are ready to build the page, which is the exciting bit. So I'm going to get my little bits of fabric that are quite damp still, but I think we'll be all right. And I'm going to get some scissors because I can't rip these ones. And I'm going to just cut 3 pieces of everything. They don't have to be exactly the same length. I'm just going to cut 3 pieces of everything. Ooh, and I've got a nice grungy bit to keep. And again, 3 pieces of everything. There we go. And a bit more to keep for another project. And let's that. Oh, I haven't got 3. Hang on. No, I have. And even these little bits like this, we'll keep those because they'll add texture. And then I want 3 bits of gauze. And do you know what I'm also going to get? I am also going to get, how are we doing for time? Ooh, 10 minutes to put this together. I reckon we can do it. I'm just pulling, I don't know if you can hear that, I'm just pulling some thread out of my sewing machine, which is beside me, because I think we'll pop some thread in these layers as well. So, okay, let's do this. So I've got my page. Let me make sure it's nice and central for you to see. And I'm going to start sticking everything in place. Now I'm going to use my glue, my standard glue here. Now I'm not going to start this at the top of the page because I know that I'm going to be putting little bits of fabric and stuff up there. So I don't need to worry about that. And then I'm going to pop that on there like that. Oh, scrumptious. And then I've got my little photo that I really like. I'm going to put that there. So that's the start of my layers. And that's nice and simple. So now with these envelopes, there's one little trick that we need to do, and I'm going to use to do it. It's a shame because you won't see it, but I'm going to use, have you seen Devid's washi tape? It's blooming gorgeous. I love it. But I'm going to use it for something else because I need just a little bit of tape. I'm going to get, this is just some wax thread. You could use embroidery thread. You could use very thin ribbon. I'm just cutting myself 2 pieces for the closures on my envelopes. So what I need to do before I stick these down, I need to just fold that thread in half, like so. Get a bit of tape. I need a bit of tape just to hold it in place. We are going to glue it, but a bit of tape will just help secure it. There we go. I made a bit of a mess of that because I was rushing, but never mind. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. And then we want the other bit of thread there. And you could use sellotape for this. Nobody is going to see it, so it doesn't really matter, which is why it's a bit of a shame to be using this beautiful tape to do it. But it was on my desk, so I've gone with it. Right, so they are going to go on here. Let's get the glue going. Oh no, I need more glue. Give me more glue. Plenty of glue because I want them to be firmly in place. And just, if you keep an eye on your fold there, it will help you to keep them straight. So there we go. Just going to add more glue. And I want those strings out of the way. And again, I'm just by eye, just looking at where. Oh, I've pulled my string out. Oh, Rachel, don't do that. There we go. Get rid of that little bit of glue. We're happy. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So I've got that there for fastening. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put that glue back, and I'm going to get my solvent-based glue because this is a fabric glue, and I want to stick bits of fabric. So I'm going to interview these pieces, or I'm going to audition these pieces, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to just check how I want this to go. Let's have a look. Piece like that. And oh no, I want quite. Now these are really adding texture to the page. And when everything is dry and set, yeah, I think something like that. And then we're going to put that on top. Yeah, okay. So I know roughly where I want everything. So I'm adding this fabric glue now, because it will just keep everything in place nicely for me. And I'm going to do this one next, actually. Just sticking it all down. There we go. Oh, thank you so much for your kind comments. It's really lovely. You're really nice. It's a really nice community in this group. I really like it. That piece, I think, will be good on there. Oh, come on. There we go. Note to self, make sure the glue is flowing next time. And this little bit here, you see, I think adds interest. I really like that. And then I just want a little bit of this too. I do. There we go. Oh, I wish this bottle could stay upside down. I'm going to add that there. And then I'm going to take this little piece and I'm going to pop that there like that. Oh, I really like that. And I'm going to add some buttons, but I will come back to those. What I really wanted to show you is when I add these safety pins, what I like to do, let me get a pair of finer scissors. What I like to do is I like to cut a little piece out like that. I hope you can see that. I cut a little piece out because then it looks like it's going through the paper. I'll just add some glue. Actually, a really cool thing to do with these would be to run them through like a Xyron thingy, wouldn't it? And then you'd have them all ready and sticky to go. Or die cutting them out with the double-sided adhesive behind them. There we go. So I've got that on there, and then I'm going to add these buttons that have got the buttons stuck behind them. There we go. Let's add those on here. There. And because they're raised, that string will go around them. There we go. Off you come. Off you come. I've got sticky, dirty, messy hands. And everything is getting stuck to everything. There we go. So I've got my two buttons, and once that's set, I'll be able to wrap the cord around to hold them down, but at the moment I can't, so I'm just going to carry on. And what I want to do is I want to echo what's going on here on the pockets, if that makes sense. So let's, and I'm not going to interview things or anything like that, because this side, I think, for this one, because I'm just aware of time and I don't want to keep you too long now. So there we go. With my sticky fingers, we'll add a little bit more here. Just echoing what we've got going on the other page. No, I want that bit. There. Stick that down. Please stick down. There. And then a bit more glue. This is this is super gluey, isn't it? Let's have bit of that there. I might trim. No, I won't trim it actually. That'll be fine like that. And let's put that one there like that. And we've got, hang on, I'll tell you, let's see if I can hold that shut for a minute. Yes, I can. And can I hold that one shut? Yes, I can. Yes. Right, stay shut just for a minute. There. And then I'm going to add some more safety pins. Oh, Diana, it's my pleasure. I'm so glad you've enjoyed it. Vanessa, I'm so glad you've enjoyed it. Right, there we go. So I'm going to add these safety pins. And again, I've cut that little piece out so it kind of gives the impression that it's going through the fabric. That's my my thought process. It may not, but in my head, that's what's happening. So let's pop a safety pin there. So we've got that going on. Then I just want to add these buttons. Oh, look, we are at time, and I'm just about to get finished. Now I want to add some buttons, but I also want to add. I'm going to add a little bit of thread. But I've just pulled the thread from the sewing machine, and I'm going to add a little bit of that underneath because I think that's going to look nice. That's why when you, if you're a sewer, you can save all your little threads, and they're fabulous for adding to layers. There we go. Let's just stick that one there, and we'll do these ones. Oh my goodness! Little race at the final furlong. There, we want that one there, and I want that one there. Oh, come on out. There we go. And then the last one, a little bit of thread underneath it, just because it makes it a little bit more textural and interesting. There we go. So I think, oh, one more, and then I'm absolutely done. What I do like to do is I like to add something to bring it all together. And where is it? There it is. I'm just going to add, using my fan brush, I'm just going to add some splatters. I'm going to pop my hand over the photo, but this will bring the white of the lace together with everything else that we've got going on. There we go. So, I can't believe I almost didn't do splatters. That would have been a travesty. Right. So, there we go. That is my my live. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll try some of the ideas. That would be really awesome. I'd really love it. So thank you so much for joining me, and well, hopefully I'll see you again soon. So thank you so much. Thank you, and bye.